Husband, 30M, and I, 28F. Opened our relationship and now everything is terrible. My husband and I have been married for 6 years, together for 8. My husband, I'll call him Eric, has always been a really intense person but he's a good man. When we got together I noticed he had a much higher sex drive than I did. But I would usually have sex with him when I wasn't in mood anyway because I love him. He's never vocalized any problems until somewhat recently. I should also mention, just before we got married we talked about having kids. I'm indifferent to kids whereas he doesn't want them, so agreed not to have them. Over the last year my sex drive has been almost non-existent. I've been checked by doctors and they say nothing is wrong physically but I should talk to a therapist, which I haven't done yet. I haven't even been able to just have sex with him to have sex like I was doing. About 4 months ago he sat me down and we talked about all of this and he said he needs sex, which I told him I understood but I can't give that to him right now. We argued for a bit and he ended up sleeping on the couch. In the morning he suggested we open the relationship. I was heartbroken. He explained that we either give this a try or end the relationship. So I agreed. We set boundaries. No bringing the person to our house ever, no talking about it, always use protection and regularly get tested. He agreed to all of this. I was actually surprised how okay I was with this as the months moved along. Even when he'd text me that he's going to be late, or when he'd kiss me and tell me has plans that night. It almost felt like a burden was lifted from me. Well, yesterday my husband sat me down again and said he's something really difficult to tell me. For the last couple of months he's been seeing this one girl and she's pregnant. I think I dissociated a little because I heard him talking but couldn't understand the words he was saying. When I came back to reality I asked if it was his and is she keeping it. Yes and yes. And he plans on being in this child's life actively. I asked him who she was and he told me. It's someone I know, not well but I do know who she is. I'm utterly heartbroken. I haven't told family or friends yet, I asked him not to. I asked him if he wants a divorce, he didn't say no. He's basically leaving it up to me. So I guess my question is, do I cut my losses and move on or give this marriage another try? You agreed to an open relationship you didn't want instead of just ending the marriage. Obviously now you need to end the marriage. You didn't want to be in an open relationship, and you are obviously not going to be okay with your husband raising some other woman's kid. This is probably just a troll post, but if it isn't, divorce is clearly the answer. Just end it. It's over. Are you getting anything out of this marriage other than someone to split bills with? You two were sexually incompatible and instead of just ending things, you took this path. This was always going to be a risk. I'm sorry it happened. I think you'd be best off to step away as it's going to be messy. No. Call a divorce lawyer and move on. I'm sorry to be blunt but continuing this will put more of an ocean between you. They will build a relationship bonding over baby. He will probably go to ultrasounds with her, watch her give birth, need to be there while she recovers, get to know the baby and it will just go on and on. Ditch your husband now or you can watch him ditch you slowly. Well, he obviously didn't use protection. And you should have made another rule of not being with people you know. It's over. Move on. I, 27F. Realized I settled for my boyfriend, 29M. Should I break up for his sake? For context, at 23 I met Jay, back then 28M. And he is the only one for whom I ever felt an intense feeling of love. Life got in the way, he moved away, we tried for a while, but in the end, we broke up. I got over the sadness rather quickly. However, it took me over a year to get even close to the idea of dating again. Even then, meeting new people felt hollow and empty somehow. Mike, then 27M, was the first one where I felt anything really. Over a few dates, I got to the stage of the mellow feeling of love, and since with previous relationships that had always been the extent of my feelings, I assumed that the thing with Jay was just an outlier and this is my normal way of feeling love. It's been 2 years and the relationship with Mike is still going strong. He is making me really happy and is essentially my best friend. In my own way, I love him and I know that he really loves me. A few weeks ago, I suddenly ran into Jay, while I was in the city. He recognized me and we chatted for a bit, before he had to go, since he was only in town to visit friends. Talking to him was as if it hadn't been almost 4 years. He told me his number is still the same and that I can text him, if I want to. The whole day I was all giddy and in a good mood, until Mike asked me about it and I just didn't know what to say. Seeing Jay brought all the feelings back up. It made me painfully aware of the difference between my feelings for Jay, even after all this time, and my feelings for Mike. I really love Mike, I do. But more like a friend that I'm sexually attracted to. That sounds awful, but is the closest I get to describing it. Since then I have been thinking about breaking up. It's not because I want to try again with Jay. I don't know if that's even an option, and I would never leave Mike because maybe things can work out with Jay. It's because Mike deserves somebody who is as much in love with him, as I'm apparently with Jay. At the same time I'm torn, because I do like Mike and I know it would break his heart. Should I move past this and continue as before? Should I tell Mike and let him decide if he wants to break up? Should I just break up? I'm really unsure and would appreciate any advice. You're in love with someone other than your boyfriend. Don't keep wasting that poor chump's life. Break it off. Break up with him so he can find someone who actually wants him. You're going to end up with neither. You don't deserve Mike because you can't keep yourself from fantasizing about Jay. You're not going to be with Jay because once you start dating him for real you're going to see all the flaws you didn't see the first time around, and the image you have of him in your mind is going to be destroyed. Self-sabotage is a hell of a drug. Passion is fleeting, and I wouldn't throw away a good thing just to chase the high of something new or tumultuous. I would want to jump out a window if I found out my relationship was set up like this. That poor dude. My 22F boyfriend's 22M older brother and his wife want him to be sperm donor for their second child. My boyfriend's brother, 37M, had leukemia 7 years ago. Now he is healthy. My boyfriend is very close to him as he is his only sibling. They call each other every day. I am also grateful to him for being there for us always. He helped me to get a better job. Their parents died early and they were raised by grandparents who were already very old. As he is 15 years older, he literally raised my boyfriend. He paid for my boyfriend's college as he did not want him to go through student loans. My boyfriend became a self-made millionaire at 21 because he focused on developing his skills by taking online courses etc. than trying to pay his bills and college. He married a woman, 35F, 10 years ago and had a son. He and his wife always dreamed of 2 kids. They were really sad after knowing from hospital that he is now infertile. They went to other doctors, all said the same. One day boyfriend asked me before I was going to work that what if he donates sperm. I said nothing as I never thought about it. His brother's wife called me out of nowhere the same night at 2 a.m. when we were sleeping. She said to me in passive-aggressive way that why you not allowing him to donate sperm. I was surprised. I said what? She said you don't know? She told me how they wanted the kid to be closely related to both of them and have good genes like my boyfriend. She is only child like me so no siblings. I feel even though we are close to them they should have discussed this properly face to face. Asked us first, told the whole process, etc. then let us make the decision. After the call my husband said that his brother called him yesterday and that he wants to do it to see his brother's face happy. I told him how rude they were. He said that his brother came much earlier in his life than me and that he is older so he can be rude. We argued a lot. He says that he will just be a fun uncle and we will have our own kids in future. I know he loves and respects me no less than his brother. I just wanted to be clear and make rules now. He says that I hurt him by making him choose between me and his brother and do not want to talk for now. How to go on from now? You're allowed to be angry at a 2 a.m. call from an angry woman who thought you'd vetoed a sperm donation. However, it's not really your business. Ask her for an apology and just let the process happen. Your boyfriend will be the fun uncle, same as he is with the first child. He said that his brother came much earlier in his life than me and that he is older so he can be rude. Firstly, this is a really shitty thing to say and a huge red flag. I understand the whole family comes first thing, but if he allows other people, including his family, to be rude to you, then that shows where you truly fall on his list of priorities. If he proceeds with the sperm donation and you want to stay with this man, make sure you have him talk to a lawyer first. Otherwise he, and therefore by proxy you if you are married, may end up financially liable for the baby if his brother were to split with his wife. Your 21-year-old boyfriend is a millionaire, okay. There are 2 issues here. The matter of genetic material itself, and the matter of how entitled they acted. About the donation itself, there is no way out, and I am not sure what to tell you. Personally, I think I would be right with that in your place, but I could understand you not being so. The matter of entitlement and lack of respect is a separate matter. Your boyfriend endorsed his brother rudeness, just because he is older. This is no excuse. This decision should be discussed properly in person and so on. If this is your only real issue here, then ask your boyfriend to make them wait a year or so. Make it no secret that you do it, because they acted entitled to your boyfriend's genetic material and disregarded your feelings as well. It should show them that you will not accept disrespect from them. Why didn't older brother bank his sperm? This sounds like they are making poor planning on their part your problem. It's not. My pregnant, 28M, wife, 28F, of 10 years is cheating on me. About 6 weeks ago we found out my wife was pregnant. About 6 hours ago I found out she was cheating on me. I wish I could make this up, and I swear it feels like a bad dream. I'm so shocked and upset. I have been with my wife for 10 years this year. I thought our relationship was great. I've never felt more comfortable or happier. We are both 28. I'm gonna make this incredibly long story short. She has been cheating on me the last 1.5 months with her ex. Apparently they talked on Facebook when she reached out to tell him happy birthday. She instigated by doing this, I am assuming. They slept together 3 times, hung out 6. She was going to TJMAXX, sending me pictures of baby clothes but hanging out with him. This woman was my world. I did everything I could for her. I was so excited for this baby. We were trying. She swears it's mine and there's no way that it's his, but she lied saying they only slept together once. He told me 3 times, she finally admitted it. She said that she told him she loved him but didn't mean it. My thing is, how would she love him after only 1 month? They dated like 13 years ago. It's just hard for me to believe, and I'm questioning if the child is even mine. It's literally the worst day of my life, guys. I'm terrified. My anxiety is awful. I feel so sick. She's texting me saying she wants to work it out, but she was so shady. Apparently she turned off Life 360 and her mom noticed something was up but didn't tell me. Come to find out, she told her mom she saw him but they just talked and nothing more. I have Life 360 on my phone because my brother, sister and wife wanted to be in the loop with where I was, which was fine. But I don't use it to track them and never have. I trusted her 100%. It doesn't feel real. I keep hoping this is a bad nightmare and I have anxiety and it's freaking me out so bad. I can't believe she did this to me. We have a home together, all of our finances are together. This was the life I wanted and now I DK how to move on. I'm so betrayed. She was the sweetest woman I've ever met and I'm just in shock. I DK how to feel. She needs to get a paternity test ASAP. If it's yours, you'll need to figure out the legal arrangements of the child. Find any evidence you can of her cheating. You'll need it for the lawyers. This sucks a lot and take the time you need to grieve, but now it's time to handle it to protect yourself. This is terrible. Get your affairs in order, see a lawyer, build your proof and get that DNA test. I'm so sorry. Huge hugs. Wow, this exact thing just happened to me. Get a paternity test, and get a lawyer immediately. This might be hard to hear, but you don't know this person. You might have at one point, but it's over. Don't keep it together for the kid, things will only get worse. I looked at your post history. You say in one that your wife seemed upset, down after finding out she was pregnant. I'm sorry to say that she was probably upset because she didn't know who the father is. She was probably scared. Don't stay in this relationship. I hate to say it, but hopefully the baby is not yours so you can have a less complicated exit from your marriage.